These are the first 10 problems of the number 1 practice test that's in the 4th lesson for test prep. So in problem 1, you are subtracting -3 plus 3x from 4 minus x. So you can do the algebra. That's probably the easiest thing to do. 4 minus -3, 7, -x minus 3x, -4x. Or what I did is I chose numbers as a way of showing the numbers game. So I let x be 2, figured both of these out, and then did the subtraction. And then down here, when you let x be 2, which one of those delivers -1? So when do you play the numbers game? You play the numbers game when your answer choices are variable expressions. And you want to let x be a number so that you get all different numbers in your answer choices and you don't get a 0 in any denominator. Problem 2 is a proportion. So 1 in 12 is so many out of 132. Challenge again, no calculator. So you need to be able to divide 132 by 12. Well, if you know 12 times 12 is 144, you can use a little reasoning here to know that it's got to be 11 to make 132. That's the easiest way to approach that. So problem 3, this is really getting at which one of these has a y-intercept of 0. There's always that question that I see a lot dealing with functions. Where's your y-intercept equal to 0? And that you have a linear function. So that is D. So here's a linear function up here and here where the y-intercept is not 0, and then this is a quadratic function where the y-intercept is 0. Okay, here it's what I call an extended ratio. You're going to extend it past the first ratio, so 4 to 5 and 1 to 2, which is 5 to 10. You want both of these to match. So if I was extending it a third time, I'd need a 10 to something. And then you compare the first and last numbers. So 4 to 10, which is 2 to 5. Problem 5, so we're applying a 5% tax. So there's that concept of add or subtract it from 1. So add the percent to 1 and multiply that by what you're doing the 5% raise on, which is 100M. That is the, I guess, the rate. So $100 per month, 100M. We're doing a 5% tax on that, so we need 1.05 times 100M. Problem 6. So here's a linear circle system. So you're going to substitute the -2x in for x up here, and then try to solve this. They want to know what x squared is, so you can stop at x squared. The key here is you have to square -2x properly. So that's -2x times -2x, which is 4x squared. Add the 2, that's 5x squared, divide by 5. That's all you need because that's what the question is asking. If you solved it for x, you would get plus and minus the square root of 5. Make a note of that. Problem 7, you need to know this. It was a little hard to read. So what is p over 6 if the product is the product, if p is the product of the x-intercepts? So -4 over 6, which reduces. Problem 8, what does 3 over x represent? Okay, so that would be the portion that Daphne eats. P is the total of the pies eaten. So whatever your x is, we don't necessarily know, but it's just that Daphne can eat 3 times as much. So the 3 times the 1 over x gives the 3 over x. That's all you really need to know. The portion that can be eaten in 1 minute. Okay, problem 9. What is one possible value of 4x plus 2? So this is a little bit hard to read. So my highlighter didn't go through. So we want to try to get 4x plus 2 alone by itself in the middle. How is that done? This is a hard problem. You need to multiply left to right by -2, and in doing that, it's going to switch the inequalities around, and then it's going to put a 4x plus 2 in the middle. So there's the rule, when you multiply any inequality by a negative, you have to reverse the inequality. Okay, so this is the result. All I did was flip it around. So 0 can fit in between these two. None of the others can. I consider that to be a pretty hard question, just because you have to know how to manipulate the middle of that, what to multiply by. You need to know you have to flip the inequality signs. So there are hard questions for sure on the first, anywhere within it, but definitely in the first 20 on the no calculator part. Okay, so here divided into 3 equal segments. Okay, and that distance is 9, so each of those is 3. What is the area of the shaded region in terms of pi? So the circle that's taken out, its area is 9 pi. So pi r squared, r is 3. And then the total area, so if we added all this up, would be 81 pi, because the radius of that big circle is 9. So each of these is a 3 here. So you subtract the 2 because that's just like a little circle that's cut out there. All right, so that's the first 10 on the no calculator part of the first practice test for your 4th lesson in test prep.